Okay, for the next couple of videos, I'm going to talk about using jQuery. Now, jQuery is basically a JavaScript library that you can use to do special effects or techniques on your website. It works great for menus, which I don't have a jQuery menu right now, but you could use it for menus. But a lot of people use it for what we call slideshow. And you'll see on this website right now, this one I've been working on here has it's cycling through a series of images over here, as well as on the Zircon site that I did over the summer. It does the same kind of thing. It kind of cycles through. As you can see, it's cycling through the pictures. So that's one of the easier techniques to do inside of jQuery. So let me demonstrate that. Again, I'm going to be using the jQuery library. Now, there's an easy way to download the library. Is just to go to jquery.com. I got to make sure you know where you're putting it too. In this case, you can just click on the download right here, and it'll get you to. And you say, "Wow, what happened?" Well, it puts you onto a web page that actually has the library right there. It's all in one big long line of code here. And so all you need to do is, especially if you're in a Firefox browser, which I am in right now, I just go under File, Save As, File, Save Page As, File, Save Page As, and it's going to save the jQuery code. And I'm basically going to put it into a folder. And I've been building a page inside of my inside of a digital media folder here. And basically, I made a folder called JavaScript, and I just put it in there and just hit Save. So I've already downloaded it and put it in. So making sure you know where it's at. Now a lot of companies and other people have been using jQuery for special effects. So a lot of there's add-ons. What I mean by an add-on is that you can add other code to the basic. So the basic jQuery library. So this first download right here is like to get the basics. If you want to add on, and one of the add-ons I use is called a cycle plugin, and that's what I'm using for the jQuery technique that you see on there. So all I did was go to Google. Just go to Google and type in cycle, C-Y-C-L-E, cycle, or jQuery, sorry, jQuery, J-Q-U-E-R-Y. Cycle, C-Y-C-L-E is the one I'm using, and if you hit return, you'll get to the website right here that I'm on. It's called the cycle plugin. And basically, then I would download the cycle plugin. If I click on that, it's going to come here. You can get the full version, a light version, and the difference between the full version and the light version is pretty much the full one will have other effects than the light one. If you're doing basic slideshow like I'm doing, you could probably get away with the light one. I can't remember which one I downloaded. Let's see. Again, I just clicked on the full one there and go under File, Save As again, and it's saving the cycle plugin. And again, I'm going to put it in the same folder as the other jQuery file that I downloaded. So, these are separate kind of files that you need to download, and I download both of them. Then you can look through the cycle plugin website here and see, do I want to do a shuffle? Do I want to do a zoom? Do I want to do a fade? Do I do a turn down? You can see all these different ones, and there's a whole bunch of advanced ones, basic ones. The one I'm using right now is the scroll. I used basically the scroll one here. I believe is it this one? No, not the shuffle. Yeah, the scroll down. But instead of scrolling down, I have it scrolling right. And so all these, there's a whole bunch of, examples that you could use on the website here. We already have and beginning demo is the easy way to get started, is to click on the beginning demo, and that's what I'm going to do right here. So the first thing you want to do is, if you're going to do a slideshow like this, is to get a series of pictures and make them all the same size. So again, in Photoshop, what you would do is, if you have a bunch of photographs, and right now I have some photographs here. Let's see, they're under my let's see. I have a series of photos that I've been working on. Some are graduation pictures, or whatever you want. If you click OK. open up a picture and say, okay, I want to use this photo for my website. Again, you try and make them all the same size. The easiest way to make something all the same size is use the crop tool. Put in some dimensions. You know, if I want them all to be 200 or 400 pixels, px by 400 px, and then you know, once I crop it to the size I want it to be, then I can hit this little move option right here, and it'll crop it. Say, hey, do you want to crop? You say crop, and it'll make it all that size, and then you can save it. I use usually the pictures I would use a save as and use a JPEG. You don't want to use Photoshop. For the internet, you can either use JPEG, GIF, or PNG. I tend to use JPEG just because it makes the photos nice. So again, I would save them all as JPEG. And then the easiest way is to make sure you name them 1, 2, 3 is probably the easiest way. So I might call it slide1.jpg. And so again, I take the photos. I usually crop them so that they're all the same size, save them as JPEGs, and I usually call them slide 1, 2, 3. So if you look here in my folder, I got one picture. It's called slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, slide 6. So I have 6 of them. And you can have as many as you want. I'm just using 6 right now. Again, they are JPEGs right there. So make sure you have that set up. I have that all set up in a folder. I have my JavaScript in a folder here. So again, I have all my images in a folder. And then I have my JavaScript in a folder. I have the basic jQuery as well as the cycle jQuery. So I have both of those right there. So have all that ready, and then you can open up your HTML editor. Again, I'm just using plain Dreamweaver in this case, but I'm going to be using mostly the code view, so that you're not necessarily using not necessarily using the tools inside of Dreamweaver. I'm just using it as a code editor. So to get started, to make a slideshow, I'm just going to make one. You can put it anywhere. If you looked at the website I have right now, that I was just working on right there, that you just saw me working on, the digital media one. If we look at it, basically I have the slideshow in a folder over here, in a div tag, or not a div tag, in basically HTML A side over here. So if I look at the code inside there, you'll notice that it's basically in a div tag called pics, and so a div is just basically a box. And so I have them all in a div tag. You can put that wherever you want on your website. I just have it in a box on my website over here. Now, one of the things you'll notice as you're working inside of Dreamweaver, if you're using it instead of, they do have a design view inside of Dreamweaver as well as a code view. If you're looking at it in design view, you'll notice it stacks up all the pictures all one on top of the other. But whenever you play it or view it in a browser, they're actually sliding through and doing a cycle. So let me show you how to make that with basically a plain page. I'm going to start with a new. So inside of Dreamweaver, I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to use blank HTML, none, and I'm going to be using HTML5. You could actually do this in HTML4 or XHTML if you really want to. This is not nothing that you have to do in HTML5. I'm going to hit Create. So I have a big box, and I'm not really going to put it in anything, but I am going to put a div tag with my images in there. To do it kind of quickly, I'm gonna pause this video and put it in. Again, I'm gonna do it in the code view. I'm gonna go down to my body tag, and the first thing I'm gonna do is do div, and then it was ID equals, and I'm gonna call it pics, P-I-C-S. Now you can call this word anything that you want right there. It doesn't have to be the word pics right there. Okay. Right now, we're just using the word pics. You can adjust that to whatever you want. Again, if you look at the code for this page, it's just div. Oh, it's a class, and it's not an ID. See, I made a mistake already. You want a class equals pics, not ID. See, I make lots of mistakes myself. So not ID. It's going to be class. Let's see, class equals pics, not ID. ID might work. Next thing I'm going to do, again, to make my life easier, I'm just going to highlight the programming I've already did there. What this programming is basically an image tag with a SRC, and then the path to it, and then the name of the file, and then the width and height of the image. So again, that's information that you would do. And probably get the height and width, the width and height from what you did in Photoshop. If you remember, I had in Photoshop basically use the crop tool to make them all the same size. So you should know in pixels what size you want them to be. So again, and then I'm going to put a closing div tag here at the end. Oops, it puts it in there because it already almost automatically for you. So again, this is all you need to do to in the body tag. You find a spot to put it, make a div tag with a class. Make sure that class has a name because we're going to refer to this name up in the JavaScript code. And down here is basically an image link to the file or the images, and you stack them all up one on top of the other. And if I save this file now, I'm just going to save it as jQuery test here. jQuery test. Save it as jQuery test now. If I just look at it in design view, you'll notice they're kind of all stacked up on top of each other. Okay, that's okay. When we program it and do it, you'll notice it'll actually it'll put one over the other. So using Dreamweaver to do these kind of things is probably better just to even use the code view. Okay, let's do the link. Okay, the link is the next thing. So we need to link to those two JavaScript files. Where those JavaScript files links are going to be up in the head section up here. So I've already done them. They're up here already. I'm just going to copy and paste them, but we could talk about the code as I copy and paste them. I'm going to copy and paste them up here. Again, the link to the JavaScript files will be up in the head section here. And basically, it's going to be a JavaScript link. So we start with a chevron script. What type is it? It's going to be text / JavaScript. Then there's going to be a source, src, which is where that JavaScript is. It's currently located in the folder called JavaScript because that's where I downloaded it to from when I downloaded the jQuery from the jQuery website. And then I have my basic jQuery. Oh, and then this one, you'll notice it's actually going to the cycle website for the cycle. Now, I didn't need to do that. I swear I thought I downloaded it. Let's see if I did. Oh, it is in there. So I don't even need it there because it's here. The cycle plugin I've already downloaded, so I can actually change that code now. So again, it's going to be, I can remove this code and type in my JavaScript, which is the name of my folder. And then the / cycle because it's already there in the same folder next to this one. So again, that was up in the head section there. The next thing I want to do is link to, and let me refresh this and save this as I'm going along here. That's pretty much it. The last thing you really need to do is you need to get the code to do the programming. So. The programming, as you can see, is going to be JavaScript. It's right here. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. Let me pause this for just a second. Okay, so in this case, we're doing the basic scripting here. In fact, let's make it even a little bit bigger. Hold on. Okay, so if you remember from the website, there was all the different ways of programming the images to move around. If you look at them, and I'm going to go back to that website there again, the cycle website. Again, we've already done the first part here inside of Dreamweaver where you have the images, and then you put your size of the images, and again, give it a class where they're located. Next thing you need to do is put on the actual CSS right here. So there is actually some CSS that needs to be done. I'm sorry if I failed to point that out. Is it CSS I needed to do for that? Where did I put that at? I did it without it, I think. So yeah, there is some CSS that needs to be done. So let's go down to that. So this link right here, you'll notice, is a link in Dreamweaver here, is a link to some basic CSS right here. And if I look at that CSS file, you'll notice there is one for the they're down here towards the bottom here for that right there. So again, that is on the website, and you do have to adjust the numbers that you see here for the border, and I'll talk about that. But again, let me copy that from here. You can copy it from their website also. Again, you can copy it from right here on their website. You can copy it from there and then paste it right into a CSS file and link to it. So I'm going to copy it from there, make a new CSS file. blank new CSS file and hit create, and then I'm just going to copy it inside there, and then I'm going to save that as a CSS file. And there's going to be jQuery test here. jQuery test CS.css. And then inside of the page I was working on, if I could find it again. Here's the page I was working on. I'll just do a link to that CSS. To do a link to the CSS inside of Dreamweaver, you can go to the CSS window right there. Go to the CSS window. And in the bottom of the CSS window, there is a link. And those of you who are doing a hand programming know how to already link to a CSS file, I'm sure. Why is this coming up? We need to find the right one. jQuery test CSS. There we go. So again, there's a link to a CSS file right there. So those are two things. And again, that was on the website. You can see them right here. So you need those. The most important thing is you're going to adjust them to the size of your picture. You can see the height and width right there. And height and width. That's for the, basically the CSS that you're looking at here is for the little frame that goes around the outside of the picture. And if you look at the sample there, see how it has a nice little frame that goes around the outside. Okay, so that's sort of what that CSS is for. Again, you have all these techniques that you can do: scroll up, scroll down, scroll left, scroll vertical. The easiest way to go about it is to highlight what you want. Like this one, I was doing the scroll down right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the text that is on this website by just putting my cursor afterwards and highlighting the whole line of text there. I'm going to hit Control-C for copy. Then I'm going to go back to my Dreamweaver. And up here in the head section still, I'm going to write some more JavaScript. So I'm going to start with script. Oh, if I could spell script right. C-R-I-P-T, script. And then it's going to be JavaScript. It's going to be type. And then we're going to go to text JavaScript. Okay. Then I'm going to go to and paste that code that I had from the website, and I'm going to close my JavaScript. There it is. So again, it's basically a JavaScript code. So you have to start with the code for the JavaScript right here, and that's just a line of JavaScript you put in there. Then there's a cycle plugin, and then the last thing you really need to do before you go and do more is by adjusting this number that you see right here, because right now it just says #S4, but that's not really doing what you put in there is the name of the pix down here, the name of your class you put in here, and that's what makes it work. So if you're not making it work, that's most likely the most common mistake that people make is you forget to put the name in. So if I put the name in there, PICS right there into that code, because again I copied that from the website, so if I go back to the website you'll see that there's a whole bunch of different ones you can use. This is basically JavaScript you're going to put on your page. That to do it, you change the name that's in there to whatever the name of your thing is. In this case, mine is called Pix because it says class Pix down there. And right now it says scroll down, and we can leave it scroll down right now. Let's test. Let's hit save all or save all. Yep. And then I'm going to go and let's test it in Firefox. Oh, got to find it. There it is. Oh, it's not working right. I must have done something wrong. Let me pause and see what I did wrong. Okay, now I understand what I did wrong. I forgot to give it a function. I forgot to tell the JavaScript to do something. In this case, we want to give it a function. Okay, so basically stole that from the other page. And then this pound sign, I don't think I need that in front of there. Yeah, I think that's the problem. This pound sign. Oh no, I do need a sign. Oh, but I need a closing tag. I think that's what it's trying to tell me here. So I need to close that also. So I'll explain it in a second. Here we go. Okay, no syntax errors. Sometimes it keeps coming up with errors as you're working before you're even done. Okay, so in this case, I failed to finish my JavaScript here. So in the JavaScript code that we were looking at, again, on this website, you need to put this into something, and you have to put it into what we call a function. And that function then is a way of controlling this. And they'll tell you how to do that basically under the, we were under beginning demo, under this part, I think. I'm not sure where I found that, but again, it's in the Dreamweaver here. I failed to give it a function here. So what this is saying, when the document is ready, the function is going to do this, whatever between this. Okay, in this case, it's going to then cycle through that. So that's what I failed to, and you can just copy this from the sample that I'm going to put on the website for you. So let's test it again. It's going to save all, and let's see if it works this time. We'll cross our fingers. Again, let's go back to. Nope, still doesn't work. Okay, I'm not sure what I had wrong, but I had JScript here instead of JavaScript. I linked to the browser up here, but I don't think that was the problem. It was the link here up here to the one there. I still think I could put JavaScript, the internal one that I have, JavaScript. Well, whatever the case may be here, again, there's two links to two external files there. This is basically code that I stole from the website here. I changed the name here to pics. I put it in a function that hopefully is working right. Again, there's a class, which is a div, which holds all the pictures together. And when you preview it, it should do a basic transition. Hopefully it's working here. Let's see. No, it's still not working. It must be that that cycle plugin is not working right. So let me pause that. Okay, the only way I was able to get it to work was to actually link to that external jQuery cycle all. Maybe the one that I downloaded was not the best or up-to-date one, but again, I have a link right here to the one that actually is online here for the JavaScript, and if I preview that now, it should work. If we look at it, you'll see it should be scrolling through. So again, the easiest way is you could just go and adjust it. If you don't want it to scroll right like it's scrolling now and you want it to fade, you just change the option inside there. So again, I can just change this instead of FX. I can change it to fade, like that, fade, and just hit save and then preview it again. And let's see what it looks like. It should now fade from one to the other. See how it faded? So try some of those techniques if you can.